Energized, man. Very
Energized?
tired, but energized.
You've been out here for a while.
Yeah. You know, day 3, 4, but
Something like that.
I don't know. They all blur into each other, man.
Right.
But honestly, after the GMM and everything, like got my wind back a little bit, got energized again. And
Yeah. What's your name, by the way?
my name's Yehia.
Yahil?
Yeah. I'm in
Okay.
poli-sci. Yeah.
Awesome. So you said your energy, like, have you felt yourself depleting at any point? You had to sort of recharge, or have you been like going the whole time?
I think physically I felt depleted for sure, and you know, just walking around for 3 hours at a time every day can get to you. But at the same time, I never kind of, I don't know, it might be a cliche, but like in spirit, you know, I never really lost energy, and certainly, like, I think the GMM, by the time we all got to it, it was kind of tough, and we were all sort of on the fence. But the show of solidarity, the way we all voted, the way people kind of seemed to change their mind as the GMM progressed, it really just gave me that second wind, you know what I mean, to kind of keep going.
Yeah, so tell me about your personal thoughts during the GMM.
Yeah.
It was 4 hours, as you said.
Yeah.
People were sort of on
Yeah.
the cusp. There's a lot of good arguments.
Right.
What did your mental process look like through
I
that?
maybe was genuinely on the fence for the first hour. Like, genuinely did not know what to think. In fact, by the time that first survey came out and they were asking you what you were kind of leaning towards, I really did not have a leaning, you know?
Yeah.
And the offer sucked. I knew it sucked.
Period.
But the people who wanted to accept the offer also knew that it sucked, right?
Right.
They were really arguing from a place of, you know, we've been threatened, we've lost allies, and that was the argument more so than this is a good enough offer to accept.
Right.
And I knew that, and strategically I felt, okay, maybe it's a good decision, but I just couldn't. I felt like in good conscience I couldn't have voted to accept the offer.
Right.
It was insulting. It was empty.
Was there
And then-
any?
Sorry,
Go on. Oh, go ahead.
And then as soon as people started arguing so passionately for rejecting the offer, I was very quickly convinced. I really was, because the people who spoke were so vulnerable and so passionate. And I've been on the picket line. I know what we're fighting for. Why am I here? Why do my feet hurt if we're going to accept essentially nothing?
Right.
And so I was very, very quickly convinced.
Awesome. Tell me more about your role in the strike. You've been on the picket lines.
Yeah.
What sorts of things have you been doing for the strike? Like, what do you see your personal role being?
Well, before the strike, I am involved with GEO as a steward for political science.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
I'm also a member of SPAC, the Solidarity and Political Action Committee.
Oh, I'm a co-chair of SPAC.
Oh, really?
For the housing
Okay,
caucus.
yeah. Wow. Okay.
Very cool.
We should talk after
Nice
this,
to meet
yeah.
you.
But anyway, so through SPAC, my work last year for SPAC was with the dining workers, the undergrad dining workers.
Awesome.
And so
Awesome.
I was really involved in kind of helping them. We're hoping to participate, organize a walkout perhaps, and express solidarity with GEO. So
Right.
I was really helping them with that. And then as a steward, I was just talking to people in my department, trying my best. I was pretty much constantly texting somebody.
Has it been sort of hard to mobilize within poli-sci? How's that looked for you?
So poli-sci is interesting because most people are supportive of the strike. Most people are pretty left and kind of realize, and even the people who don't support the strike, a lot of them recognize that they're part of a democratic union and therefore should adhere to what the membership wants, right?
Right.
However, the people who are,
No, you're good.
the people who are against the strike and kind of want to cross the picket line tend to have very strong opinions, tend to be, you know, not the easiest people to talk to. So
Okay.
there were a couple of people that, through my effort and my fellow stewards, poli-sci is quite well stewarded. We're very lucky.
Nice. That's
And
good to
just
hear.
a lot of informal labor too.
Right.
Through our efforts, I think there were maybe 4 or 5 people that we were able to convince to actually adhere to the strike. They were on the fence.
Yeah.
There were a couple who were full on scabbing, and then around day 2 or 3 kind of changed their tune and realized, okay, they don't want to be on the wrong side of this.
That takes a lot of labor, though, to really get people invested and involved. It was the same in my department.
Sometimes I wonder if it's because we've convinced them or kind of shamed them into it.
Right.
But the point is that people really need to adhere to the strike. This is what we voted for, and every time you cross the picket line, you put the rest of us in danger.
Right.
You make the rest of us weaker. And I think people ultimately understood that once it was explained to them.
Right.
Yeah.
So the vote tonight, the reauthorization vote, what are your thoughts going into that?
Well, honestly, it's, if we've rejected a shitty offer, then we're not going to accept no offer.
Right.
So there's no option. You know, this is a lot easier to know what I think, right?
Okay, yeah.
We're going to extend. We're going to keep this going. This strike is going to end for one of 2 reasons. Either the university is going to make an offer that is good enough for us to accept, or we're going to run out of energy. I do not see us running out of energy anytime soon, especially after the GMM. Our numbers are rising. Right? Over time, usually less people come. Every day, more people are coming to the picket line. Every day, other groups are joining in. Right? We had the dining workers. We had the RAs.
So do you have some inside knowledge about the dining workers? You said you were organizing with them.
I was working with them. I don't think they're ultimately going to do. This is actually public information because they tweeted about it.
Okay.
They're not doing a walkout out of. The university has threatened them. Has collected personal information, and they are not unionized. They don't have the job security that graduate student union members do. And so in their case, threats are a lot more credible and a lot more likely, to be carried out. So we've advised them in working together, we've advised them that a walkout perhaps is too dangerous. They could basically lose their jobs. We're all risking that, but to different degrees. They're really, really vulnerable. So they're organizing what they're calling a slowdown, which is basically working to the letter of the law, working to the rules, not doing a single thing more, slowing everything down. And this is for this week. If this goes into next week, then we could start talking about a walkout. We'll see if it escalates to that. But ultimately, for now, we're doing the slowdown.
It could get more intense.
It's really uncertain right now. And it really just depends on the kind of organizing that we can do. But they are a really vulnerable group, you know what I mean? They don't have we have union protection. We have union strength. And they ultimately don't. And so it might come to a point where we all kind of collectively realize that a walkout would be too dangerous.
Okay. Closing thoughts, if you have any, what would you like to end on?
Man, you know.
Probably a million things.
A million things. If I just keep it short, solidarity, man. Like it's just so beautiful to see labor united. I mean, it's one of those things that I've always supported and I've always seen maybe on TV or read about, but actually seeing it, actually being out here, it's so inspiring and it's so beautiful. And anybody who's against the picket line, anybody across the picket line does not come to the picket line. People who come here will be convinced. It is so beautiful when we are united, the work that we can do and the things that we can stop and disrupt. And I'm honestly in awe and humbled by the community. So
that's
really cool.
Awesome.
Happy to be a part of it, man.
Thank you so much for committing your labor to this, and thank you for the interview.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.